Let's try. Hi, we're back for another segment. I'm Dr. Valerie Small, and this is your expert psychotherapist, Bonnie Harrison. Now, last week we gave you an exercise to do. You were supposed to create a list of your ideal mate. We were creating a mate, okay, a partner, last week, and Bonnie Harrison gave you some things to do, and we just want to check in to see if you did them or not, and we hope you did.
We'd like to hear from you too.
Exactly, and we would like to hear from you. So I'm going to send you our email addresses and where you can contact us, the website and everything. So you can, if you have questions for us, you can definitely email us any questions, anything that you desire for us to cover. We'll definitely cover it over the next several weeks, because remember, this is a 7-week series and this is week 2, Bonnie. So we're moving right along. But today we're going to be talking about, we're going to continue the discussion, but today we're going to be talking about building on what we did last week, and we're talking about self-love. Self-love. And what is self-love? What are some of the prerequisites, if any, for self-love? In addition to that, self-love, do you love yourself? Pretty much. Right, Bonnie?
That's a question that people need to answer. And I think it's a topic that really builds on the conversation that we started last week, authenticity.
Okay.
Because you would not be able to love yourself if you don't know who yourself is.
Okay.
And so self-love actually is a revolutionary act.
Wow.
I see it as a revolutionary act.
Okay.
It's almost like the total overthrow of an existing system that was dysfunctional.
Wow.
And it means really cutting out the core of the problem and replacing it. It's about transformation, actually. That's what self-love is. And there are certain steps that we take when we actually are exhibiting self-love, when we're practicing self-love. And it will look different for different people.
Okay.
Because different people do different things that are unhealthy for them.
Okay.
So one person might do a certain behavior, another person might not.
Okay.
So it's about discovering, first of all, what you really want out of life as an individual, and learning how to take care of your needs first. We typically, particularly women, have been socialized to take care of other people's needs first.
Yes.
So that's not an act of self-love necessarily.
Okay. Is it
learning how to take care of yourself first allows you to have the space and the heart to really give wholly to someone else.
Wholly to someone. Let me ask you, Bonnie. So, is it oftentimes that we as women, do we self-sabotage? Is that what's happening when we're not taking care of ourselves first and we're taking care of others? Would that fall into under that category, self-sabotage?
I don't know if I would exactly call it self-sabotage, because sabotage very often what comes with that is an awareness.
Okay.
And you know that what you're doing is really not the best thing for you, but you do it because you have the need to please or to satisfy someone else's needs. And so that derails your process.
Wow.
But self-love, or to not exercise self-love, is sort of destructive. It's sort of self-destructive.
Self-destructive.
And because you can sabotage yourself and get back on track, but if you get in the habit of really not taking care of yourself, it becomes something that becomes a pattern.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And yes, it becomes a pattern. And the next thing you know, you're in a very codependent relationship.
Wow.
With whomever it is, or whomever the project is. It could be work, it could be whatever it is.
Wow. Okay.
But what you find yourself doing is taking care of other people's needs when you don't really have to.
Now that's key.
That's really not the healthy thing to do. That's codependency.
So what I'm hearing, Bonnie, it sounds to me that there's something else going on. Because it sounds like it's something deliberate that we're doing. If we're constantly taking care of someone else, knowingly that we're not really taking care of ourselves first. Is a possibility that we are using it as a scapegoat, as a substitute? Are we hiding probably from the self because we don't want to face ourselves, or we not happy with ourselves? Because you said something very key, that is being done deliberately. We're consciously aware of this.
Well, I think part of the problem stems from the type of role models we have.
Oh, wow.
Because learning how to love yourself results from modeling. You have a mother and a father. You have a caretaker, a caregiver. And if that person doesn't model self-love, let's say if your mom was self-sacrificing, well, you learn that.
Wow.
If your father was someone that didn't have to be too sacrificing because everything was done, he didn't have to be responsible. Maybe he was the person that just worked and brought the money home. And he did not engage in the type of intimacy that people need, women and men need, from a parent or from a caregiver. We need that type of intimacy.
Yes.
That if we don't see that mirrored, we don't know how to be intimate with ourselves. We don't know how to love ourselves because we haven't been taught how to. And learning is not just about someone telling you, giving you information. The first level of learning is observation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Observation
is the first level of learning. So if you don't see it demonstrated at home growing up at a very early age, by the time you get our age, and the way we're socialized, you just are not in the habit of putting yourself first. Because what will happen typically is you're going to feel guilty.
Wow.
And you'll think that you're disappointing someone.
Okay.
And a lot of us are reared by guilt and obligation. So in our family systems, if we are taught that we are obliged, we owe this to our family. We owe our parents this.
Wow.
Because they brought us in this world, and so we owe them. And so what we will do is we will take care of others' needs in the absence of taking care of our own.
Wow.
But that can make you very sour. You ever see people walking around with sourpuss faces?
Yes.
Angry, resentful?
Yes.
Because after a while you begin to resent the fact that you're giving because you're not going to get back what you need. And again, if you don't know what you need, then you can't ask for it or demand it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, I think that self-love is a revolutionary act because very often you're going to have to push people to the side and not take care of people's needs the way they want you to or the way you're accustomed to. And in revolution, sometimes you have to just friends and family, you have to just cut loose.
Friends, and say that again. Friends and family.
You have to just put them in another place because their demands and their behavior is not contributing to the process of freedom.
Wow.
And the idea in revolution is you want to be free.
That's exactly right.
And how can you be free if you're not loving yourself?
Excellent.
And how can you love yourself if you don't know who you are?
Excellent.
That's my position.
And Bonnie, I just love the fact that you had said the guilt and obligation. And now you bring, you're talking about the freedom. And freedom, friends, and family. We have three. Look at that. Freedom.
The three F's.
The three F's. Freedom, friends, and family. And how is that connected based on what you're just saying? If we want, is revolutionary when we find out, right? That family, friends, sometimes we have to cut that. We have to,
those cords, because otherwise we won't be free. We won't be. And free means to be able to think for yourself, to be able to do for yourself, to be able to have and get for yourself.
Without any guilt being attached.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then no coercion, not giving in to that. Because sometimes, I remember growing up, my mom used to say, my mom never hit me, never yelled at me.
Okay.
But I tell you, she knew how to get me to do what she wanted me to do. And she would have this famous saying. She said, "It's all right, you're going to miss me when my head is cold."
Wow.
And I would straighten up because it's like, I didn't want to kill my mother.
Okay.
So this is almost as though, this is so painful, it's just tearing my heart out. You're going to miss me when my head is cold or when I'm no longer here. So that type of coercion gets kids to do what you want them to do.
And even adults.
Well, adults grow into adults were children.
Yes.
So if you grew up having this program, then when you become an adult, you don't want to disappoint people because you don't know what could happen. I mean, it could kill them.
Wow.
I have a client that was terribly abused by her father.
Yes.
And she told her stepfather, and she told her mother. The mother had a heart attack. So when she ended up being abused by her natural father, she wouldn't tell her mother. She was afraid that she would die.
Isn't that something?
So she wasn't able to take care of her needs and herself because she was busy being concerned about someone else's needs. Yeah.
And Bonnie, with that being said, as we close this segment right here, you said a lot here today. You said a whole lot. One thing I want to say is I always tell my students and my clients, you have to know, K-N-O-W, when to say N-O.
Yes,
no.
you do. Exactly.
You have to know when to say no.
Yes.
Because everything is not always a yes.
No. And you won't know how to say no, though, if you don't have clear boundaries. If you are enmeshed with someone else, your children, your family, your husband, your partner, whomever, if there's enmeshment, then you don't know where the boundary is. So you don't know then how to draw the line and say, no, this is not what I want.
Wow.
No, I don't want to do that. Because there's something, the little voice going on inside here that tells you there's something wrong with you getting your need met. It's just not right.
Wow.
Or you can do it later. You can take care of yourself later, but now you got... And that doesn't mean that there are not times that we concretely need to put other people's needs first. I have a sister that can't take care of herself now.
Okay.
So there are times that I don't feel like going out and buying her groceries.
Right.
I'd rather stay in bed and relax or listen to some music. But my sister needs me to get her food because she can't do it herself. So I will do that. And so there are times when it's perfectly fine, it's perfectly a loving thing to do, to take care of someone else's need. But I'm not going to do that with her all the time and not take care of myself.
Not take care of yourself.
Sometimes I want to visit and I just don't because I just need my own space and my own time.
Right.
So I'll call her on the phone.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to find alternative ways.
Excellent.
I learned I had to get home care for her because I just could not take care of her needs the way I wanted to and the way I had been because I was falling apart. All of my stuff was not getting done.
Wow, Bonnie.
Yeah.
This is amazing. So, here we go. We're closing out this segment and we want to say thank you for joining us again. I'm here with expert psychotherapist Bonnie Harrison,
You're so kind.
who always have these golden nuggets for us. And what I want to say is tune in for next week as we continue the conversation. And I think, Bonnie, next week we're going to tackle the topic, when love goes wrong. Okay? When love goes wrong. What do we have to say about when love goes wrong? And you said some key things to me, but we're going to save that for next week.
All right.
So until next Thursday, join in, tune in, watch us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube station. And again, send us emails, send us questions, anything that you desire for us to cover, because we enjoy what we're doing.
Absolutely. And we welcome, we won't know if we're on the right track if we don't hear from you.
Exactly.
And I want to know if you did that homework. I want to know if people did that create a mate list and what you discovered about the mate that you're with.
That's
what I'm interested in, getting in people's business.
Me too. I want to hear because I need the information. The information is going to help me along the way, Bonnie. So I want to know. So again, send us that list. Let us know that you did create the list. And again, you're going to see our email addresses and the website where you can contact us and send us that information.
And we'll be back here next week having these living room conversations.
These living room conversations.
I'm telling you.
They're fun. Thank you so much, Bonnie Harrison.
Thank you. I'm loving it.
So until next week, we want to say ta-ta.
Au revoir. See you
Adios.
later. Adios.
And just until next week.
Until next week.
Have a great day.
Yeah.